Welcome all of you. You're all considered our honored guests, as you can see. The color guard, the steward, tartan, pipes and drums, and all the students will be reading poetry today, as well as Dr. Betty Ann Auburn's voice students. We're all looking very much, and the Scottish Highland dancers. We're looking forward to everybody in today's festival, and I know that we want to move along. And so what I'd like to do is introduce you to Dr. Henry Young, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about the history of St. Andrew's Day.
Good morning. Whatever in Valley College. According to tradition, St. Andrew was martyred on November 30th, but the year of his death is disputed, with estimates ranging from 60 to 70 AD, and eastern and western branches of many Christian churches observe November 30th today. There were few details about St. Andrew. His name in Greek means manhood or manly. He was born in the town of Bethsaida in Galilee. He was thought to have been a fisherman along with his brother Simon Peter. Both knew John the Baptist, and through his influence became a disciple of Jesus. Andrew seems to have been a likable and humble man who, despite a few references to him in the Gospels, was probably one of the most active apostles. The details of the martyrdom of Andrew are also shrouded in mystery. Through his preaching of Christianity, he most likely aroused the wrath of the local Roman officials. Legend holds that at his own request, he was crucified on an X-cross shape now known as the St. Andrew's Cross, because he was humble to die in the same fashion as his Lord. He supposedly lived for 2 or 3 days in that position, preaching on to onlookers as he was dying on the cross. About the mid-8th century, Andrew was named the patron saint of Scotland. Legend claims that a Scottish king about to engage in battle against his enemy saw a white cross, the St. Andrew's Cross, against the blue sky. Believing this to be a favorable sign, the king adopted a white X shape on the blue field as his battle symbol, thus originating the St. Andrew's banner. This banner eventually became Scotland's national flag. In 1707, after the union of England and Scotland, the St. Andrew's Cross was embodied in the British Union Jack, on which were superimposed the broad red cross of St. George, the patron saint of England, and the narrow red cross of St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland. Andrew is the patron saint and those of Scottish descent in all parts of the world. The larger part of St. Andrew's remains now to be found in a church in Amalfi, Italy, with further relics of St. Andrew now displayed in a shrine in the St. Mary's Roman Catholic Cathedral in Edinburgh, Scotland. So, thank you again for coming to Evergreen College to help celebrate St. Andrew's Day. Thank you.
Back and forth. We probably don't need this anyway. Going up and down just takes too much time for me. But what I want to do next is, first of all, let you know that this beautiful with good Scottish clothes or Celtic clothes, we've got bangers, we've got things. We have shepherd's pie. We've got drinks. And look at where you're sitting. You're sitting in a place on campus where you're actually able to eat. So, after I introduce you to George McCumbee, after the Highland dancers give you a treat, you might want to go outside and pick a bite up and bring it on in and continue with the program. So, the man messing with the microphone is George McCumbee, a longtime friend of the St. Andrews Day Festival here, and he's been the one, along with the San Jose School Highland Dancers, that have brought us scores of young men and women to, be like a rock star. So, without further ado, I give you George McCumbee.
Thank you so much. I didn't think it was that loud. Anyway, good morning, everybody, and welcome to St. Andrews Day. Can you hear me all right? Probably don't understand it, but you can hear me, right? Anyway, is there any Irish here today? We're the San Jose School of Highland Dancing. If any of you would like, after you see this, if any of you would like to become Highland dancers, there's a young lady in the audience who will gladly take your name. And it's much better than aerobics. And if you're 4 years old, you're old enough. And if you can pull one leg past the other, you're young enough. So anybody can sign up. You don't have to be Scottish. So anyway, the first Irish here, don't be shy. I won't hold it against you. Yeah. The first dance we're going to do is called the Irish Jig. And it tells the story about the Irish washerwoman. She's hanging out her clothes, and she's as mad as hell because the billy goat is running away with them as fast as she puts them up. So we have, who's going to do it? Kristen and Clara are going to do the Irish Jig. If the piper loses breath or the piper stops, they just hum to themselves and keep dancing. And they did a good job there, didn't they? Anyway, one up. If you notice that Catherine isn't wearing her kilt now with other girls, they had their Irish costumes on, but Catherine's outfit called the national costume. It's also called the Aboyne dress. And there's a place in Scotland called the Aboyne, and I always say, as it should be, the women are forbidden to wear the kilts. Only the men are allowed to wear the kilts. And you must be quite a quiet lot because usually the women yell at me for saying that. But anyway, it's true. Even today, they're not allowed to wear their kilts, whether they practice it or not, I'm not sure. Anyway, the next dance is called the Village Maid, and Catherine here is going to do a wonderful demonstration. Catherine is you're a state champion, right? Something like that, right? She's a champion dancer anyway. Catherine McDougall. Thank you, Catherine. Sorry for the wait. There's Mark Cameron. He's mixed Mark Cameron and Rachel O'Farrell. They're going to give us some poetry from Robert Burns. And Mark, you get the same name. My middle name is Cameron, so we must belong to the same clan. Where's Mark? Is he here? He's not here? Oh, just here? Oh.
Yes, yes. So we'll have Rachel go first. Go ahead. Go first.
Hi guys. Lawrence is not reading, so I'll be reading a few pieces for you guys. No. Thank you. My first piece is called The Permanence of Young Men. No man outlives the grief of war, so he may outlive his rest. Upon the memory of a scar, through all his years will ache. Hope will revive when horror cease, and dreaming dread is still. But there shall dwell within his teeth a sadness unenlightened. Upon his world shall hang a sign, which summer cannot hide, the permanence of the young men who are not by his side. And this second poem is titled The Beach Shop by Muriel Stewart. Here in a quiet and dusty room they lie, faded as crumbled stone or shifting sand, forlorn as out, shriveled, scentless, dry. Meadows and gardens running through my hands. Dead that shall quicken at the trunk of spring, sleepers to stir beneath June's splendid kiss. So birds pass over unremembering, and no deeds speak here roses out his. And this brown tusk, a gale of hawthorn green, a cedar in this narrow cell of thrust, that will drink deeply of a century stream, these lilies shall make summer on my dust. Here in their safe and simple house of death, fields in their shells a million roses leaf. Here I can grow a garden with my breath, and in my hand a forest line of clean. Thank you.
been gracious enough to take the place of Mark, and we appreciate it very much, Alan. Thank you.
By Adam Trina, and the poem is called "The Traveler Has Regrets." The traveler has regrets for the receding shore that with many nets has caught not to restore. The white lights in the bay, the blue lights on the hill, the night with many stars may travel with him still. But night has not to say, only a color and shape, the clouds shaking, a dancer with a cape, whose dance is heartbreaking. Night with its many stars can weary travelers. There's only time to kill, and nothing much to say. But the blue lights on the hill, the white lights in the bay, told us the meal was laid, and the bed was made, and that we could not stay.
Are any of Dr. Robert's people here? Yeah? Okay, this is Andy, and he's going to do something for us a cappella.
Andy?
Okay, Andy, and he's going to do something for us a cappella.
You should never tell me you can sing.
No, you shouldn't.
He's kind of adorable.
The only song that I know that will commemorate this day is a song called Folk of the Blade. Now I ask you to be kind because I don't normally go up and do public singing. So.
Lend me the heart of the folk of the Blade, wonder as many of what they are made, for their heart is the silence and cold as love flowing, a Scots nay spirit young may can destroy. Born in the damp winds and raised in the hills, those that reach manhood have iron like wills, for the readers and the rovers and the brigands is known. A Scotsman looks after his clan and his own. So it's hey ho, Highlands, hello, ho, leave the Scot breathing, he'll strike the last blow, as the chieftain of England so angrily knows, the thistle bows not to the rose, the thistle bows not to the rose. Now blinch ladies charm with their glances and sighs, but find ye a lassie with fire in her eyes. Scots girls are fiery, they're long in their lean, and sharper of wit than after it is keen. Now loving the women's life juggling with knives, too many at once, and they'll cut through your eyes. Find ye but one lass and stay the fair true, she'll fight at your back and share in all you do. So it's hey ho, the Highlands, hello, ho, leave the Scot breathing, he'll strike the last blow, as the chieftain of England so angrily knows, the thistle bows not to the rose, the thistle bows not to the rose. Now some call us heartless and vicious and cruel, a Scots a survivor and nobody's fool. We're branded through the ages as wagers of strife. Sometimes it takes a hard man to lead a hard life. So we'll pipe till the blood sings and drink liquid fire. Watch where you tread, lest you're a Scottish ire. Mark ye these words of the Macintosh clan, touch not the cat without a gloved hand. So it's hey ho, the Highlands, hello, for the low, leave the Scot breathing, he'll strike the blow, as the chieftain of England so angrily knows,
The thistledown's not to the rose, the thistledown's not to the red and blue rose. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. Well, however, the singers are not here yet, the choir, so we'll just have some more Highland dancing. And Kristen, are you ready? We're going to do a dance. The next dance we're going to do is called Barracks Johnny. I don't know if you've seen any, if you saw Great Park, but all these guys, believe it or not, used to do this kind of dancing. And this dance, Barracks Johnny, they used to dance in the front of the barracks. This was all the clansmen. They would dance in front of the barracks, and the idea was that you saw that good time the warriors were having, that you would run and join the army. So I wonder if I'd see any of you today running up here to join the army after Christmas was to the barracks, Johnny. Can we get the tune right? Thank you. This dance, there's not much to say about it, but you saw all these pipers with the wee bonnet in their head. It's called a blue bonnet. It's actually called in Hungary, but we call it blue bonnet. So this dance is called the blue bonnet, and it's again a national dance, a national costume. And as I say, there's not too much history about the dance. It's just a fairly modern dance. It's only about 200 years old. So anyway, here we have Katya is going to dance with blue bonnet. well done, Catherine. Before we go next time, I want to remind you, you've got to try outside the British food. Let's get some lovely bangers, which are really dogs. And then we have sausage rolls, which is a puff pastry. And also, we call it tatties and mince, which is potatoes with chopped meat underneath. They call them shepherd's pies here. So you've got to try some of that food before you leave. A quick funny story. I used to run the games in Monterey. Now I do the ones in Pleasanton. But anyway, it was Mother's Day when we had to run the games on Mother's Day. And I'm on the radio, and I'm saying, you have to bring your mothers out to the games because you can always give her a banger. Anyway, I've got a few comments on that one. Anyway, and also there was some lovely Celtic jewelry there and some Scottish cups, so be sure and frequent the venues before you leave. Thank you. Our next dance is the Chartreuse. And we'll get Kristen and Clara to do the Chartreuse. And Chartreuse in English means old trousers. Now, this dance depicts how hard it is to dance in trousers, right? We call them trews. But anyway, my history was on this subject, and it was one old time when England decided that the Scots couldn't wear the kilts anymore. And this dance depicts how hard it is to dance in a kilt and a trousers. Later on, the band is lifted, and it shows you how easy it is to dance in a kilt. The Chartreuse. Singers here? No. Everyone is Kevin here? Is Kevin?
No, but for poetry,
Yeah.
Melissa Ashaka.
Melissa? Melissa, I want to attempt the last name, but Machaka?
Yes.
That's it, right?
Oh, that's a lovely shirt.
Very similar to some type of Mexican meat dish, I'm told. I don't know, I'm a vegetarian. Okay. So this one is Castle Gordon. Streams that glide in the Orient plains, never bound by winter's chains, flowing here on golden sands, there mixed with foul stains from tyranny's empurpled hands. These the richly gleaming waves that I leave to tyrants and their slaves. Give me the streams that sweetly lave the banks by Castle Gordon. Spicy forests that were gray, shading from the burgundy ray. Hapless wretches that sold it to toil, or the ruthless native sway, bend on slaughter, blood, and spoil, would that ever ardent waves. I leave it the tyrant and the slave, give me the grove, that lofty brave, the storms by Castle Gordon. Wildly here without control, nature reigns and rules the whole, in that sober, pensive mood. Dearest to the feeling soul, she plants the forest, pours the flood, love's poor day, I'll muse rave, and a sheltering cave, where waters that flow and wild woods wave, by bonny Castle Gordon.
Address the haggis. Now, the haggis in Scotland, some people say it's an animal that has, on its right side it has short legs and on its left side it has long legs. And the way they catch them, that's for running around the hills in Scotland. And the way they catch them is to make them run in reverse order so that the small legs are down the hill and they fall over and they catch them. That's one story. The other story is that it's like a sausage. And it's the liver, the parts that you don't normally eat, the liver, the lungs, the heart, they're all chopped up and they're inside a sheep's stomach. That's what the skin is the sheep's stomach. The trouble is get the sheep to eat all these things before you kill it. Anyway, that's a couple of theories, so believe it or not. 2.5 stones to address the haggis.
Okay. This is a Bobby Burns version, and if you're familiar with Robert Burns, you're familiar with the fact that sometimes he uses language that we don't use all that often anymore. Still, just appreciate it, bear it for what it is, and it's been a while since I've read this poem. I don't read it before I go to bed every night, so here it goes. It's called An Ode to a Haggis. Fare far, you honest, sorry face, great chieftain of the footed race. Above them you take your place, panic, strife, or darm. Will are you worthy of a grace, as long as my arm, the groaning trencher there you feel, your herd light a distant hill, and you pin wad me help to mend a mill in time of need. While through your pores the dews distill, like amber beads, his night sea rustic labor that cut you up, ready slight, trenching your gushing entrails bright like one to ditch. And then, oh, what a glorious sight, warm, reeking, rich. Then horn for horn they stretch and strive, they'll take the hindmost and the drive, till on their wheel its small kites believe, they are bent like drums. Then all guidesmen laced like to raise, the buncock hums. Is there that owes his French ragout, or Oreo that wad star or so, or fricassee, wad maker spew, with perfect scorner, look down with sneering, scornful view, on sick a dinner? Poor devil, see him o'er his trash, as feckled as a wither's rash. He spindles shanks a gild with lash, his nerve and milk is bloody, fluid or field or dash, oh how unfit. But mark the rustic haggis bed, the trembling earth resounds his tread. Clapped in his wally near the blade, he'll make it whistle, and legs and arms and heads will sneed, like taps of thistle. He powered what makes mankind your care, and dished them out their bill of fare. Old Scotland wants not shrinkling ware that jumps in luggles, but if you wish her grateful prayer, give her a haggis.
Well done, Dylan. And I better remember one I was doing what he said. Actually, what we was doing was we celebrate Robert Burns' birthday every year. His birthday is on the 25th of January, and we celebrate it every year with a Burns supper. And the main dish at the Burns supper is the haggis, and there's somebody to address the haggis. And what he's doing is actually making fun of the English. We often do that. But he's saying how good it is, and that it's only Scotch for the kid eat, such a thing as a haggis. Anyway, are we going to carry on with the dancing? Have we any singers yet? Did any singers turn up?
One more singer before the dance.
Oh, one more singer, very good. What's her name? Adrian. Yeah, I gave the birthday last week called Adrian was going to sing us a Scottish song.
All right, so I'm going to sing a Scottish drinking song called My Son David. I'm going to try not to butcher it. I only just learned it an hour ago. Bear with me, please. What's the blood on the point of your sword? Oh, son David, my son David. What's the blood on the point of your sword? Promise, tell me true. That's the blood of my grandmother, oh lady mother, my lady mother. That's the blood of my grandmother, she would not rule by me. Your grandmother's blood was never stolen, oh son David, my son David. Grandmother's blood was never stolen, promise, tell me true. That's the blood of my hunting hound, oh lady mother, my lady mother. That's the blood of my hunting hound, she would not rule by me. Your hunting hound's blood was never so clear, oh son David, my son David. Your hunting hound's blood was never so clear, promise, tell me true. That's the blood of my brother John, oh my lady mother. That's the blood of my brother John, he drew his sword to me. What did you fall out of town? Oh, son David, my son David. It's all for a little holly bush that'll never grow to a tree. I'll set my foot on a bottomless boat, oh lady mother, my lady mother. Set my foot on a bottomless boat, sail upon the sea. Will you come back again, oh son David, my son David? Will you come back again? Promise, tell me true. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, I'd like to, sometimes it just gets hard going upstairs, but I'd like to introduce one of our audience, Rita Cepeda, our chancellor here at Evergreen Valley College and San Jose City College, and so glad that she's here to join us. Perhaps next year we'll get her to dress up in a kilt and march in with us, and if she wants a sword, I'll have one for her. So, would you like to say something?
So I'll go up the stairs. You know, on, I think it's next Wednesday, the History Channel is starting with a several-part series on the history of all of us.
It's not a Scottish name, but we'll take it.
Some of you know who I am. I'm Eric Narbison. I teach history. And yes, I'm a Celt. And I'm supposed to speak to who are the Celts. But first, I'm going to kind of segue off of Chancellor Cepeda. We have, this campus is so much, celebrates diversity. This is our one European American Heritage event. And I got to tell you that Celts are not all Europeans. We're just a part of them. And so who are the Celts? That's what it says on your program. First of all, my last name is not Celtic, it's Norwegian, but on Mom's side, I'm an O'Brien, and I'm a Pugh. That's what great-grandma called it, although I was corrected, it's called Puh. That's Welsh, and I'm O'Brien, we're Irish, and a McIntyre Scot. So I'm a little bit, like about this much of my arm. But I'm a little bit Celt. So who are the Celts? Celts were people who lived and still live in Europe. They go way back to prehistory. We don't know exactly how long they've been there, but they were there with the Greeks. They were there before the Romans, and they lived in most of Europe. And the Romans pushed them to the edge of the world, so to speak. And today you have, because of the Romans, you only have a few people who are left over from the Celts. The Scots, the Irish, the Welsh, the Cornish in France, the Breton, and there are just a few people kind of at the periphery of Europe that's still left. What makes them different from others? Well, the Romans are the Latins. And if you have any Latin heritage in you, anywhere south of the United States, you have some Romans. And they think differently, and they act differently, and they see the world differently. Then you have Germans. Those of you like Norwegians, and English, and Germans, and even French and Spanish have some German in them. But Celts come way before that. They organize their world differently. They see the world differently. They're very much family and clan oriented. You see the tartans. You see the patterns in everybody's kilt or in their dress. That is a pattern that reflects either what organization they're in or what family they belong to. They're very clan-oriented people. They see the world differently. They had a whole different religion before St. Andrew came around. Entirely different from the Romans, entirely different from the Greeks. And so what you're seeing is only a piece of European American heritage, is the Scots, is the Celts. We happen to be doing Scottish stuff, but there's also the Irish are very similar, so are the Welsh, so are even, there's a few Cornish still around there, they were a tribe as well. And they had some really interesting heroes, Queen Boudicca, Vercingetorix, who was a Gaul. And you had a lot of Scottish inventors. If you think of some of the things that were invented in the 1800s, 1700s, I bet you it was a Scot. It was like the core of English-speaking originality in science. So what I'm trying to do is just give you a sense of who are these people as part of Europeans. And of course today you're all an honorary Scot, so just put Mick in front or a Mac in front of your name, and you're an honorary Scot. So I want to thank you for at least getting a little chance to give you a sense of what the Scots are like, what the Celts are like, and as long as some more music and poetry.
Anyway, I mentioned the tartan, or you call it flying. But anyway, my kilt today is not a family kilt, it's a county. I'm from the county in Scotland called Ayrshire, and this is the Ayrshire flying. Anybody can actually weave a tartan of any design. Mostly it's family names, but actually now we have one for the Caledonian Club. I belong to the Caledonian Club. In fact, I'm the chief of the Caledonian Club for this year, and it's a special tartan as well. And what they do is somebody designs the tartan, they send it to Scotland, and if nobody else has that particular pattern, they'll give it a name, and then it's registered. So it's registered. Most of these kilts are all registered tartans. The girls, they tend to wear lighter colours because if you get them dancing in a dull colour like this, maybe the judge doesn't notice them the same, because all these girls are competing. Actually, at Pleasanton this year we had 120 dancers, but they're actually diminishing in numbers, because when I run the dancing there, first of all at Pleasanton, 100 dancers for the weekend. Now I'm down to 120, but they also, you don't have to be Scottish, like I said earlier. I did the dance competitions in this area and up and down in California for 25 years. And the guy that's taken over from me, believe it or not, is Chinese. I call him Matt Yip, but his name is Rodney Yip. And he now runs most of the dance competitions around here. So, and he has 5 daughters. I think he qualified to be in that position, because he had 5 daughters that all did Highland dancing. I think he's down to the youngest one now, who's 20, and she's still dancing. So anyway, are we going to have another singer still?
Yeah.
With the young lady, wasn't she very good? She got a wonderful voice. You're going to give us another song, dear. Thank you.
All right, now I'm actually going to do fine, now. So that's always nice. If I can find my phone, because I don't know the lyrics by heart. All right, some of you owed anyway. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside, the summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you must go and I must buy. The tiny bird with summer sings the meadow. Oh, when the valley's hushed and white with snow, 'tis all beneath the shade or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And if you come when all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I will be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and even say, I'll be there for me. And I shall feel myself to tread above me, and all my dreams will not sweeter be. If you're not there to tell me that you love me, I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me.
I mean, it's one thing to read it off the cell phone, but it's another thing to keep the tune. And she did wonderful. That was, I mean, I've heard singers, popular singers, that couldn't sing that song as well as she did. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. And Danny Boy, a lot of people think it's an Irish song, but it's really Scottish, you know. So Danny Boy is one of my favorites. Thank you very much. Now we get we get someone else to sing or say some poetry, or shall we go on with the dancing? Is there anything here that would like it?
Let's see. We did have. Oh, yes. Vivian is going to read a poem for us. My love is mine forever.
Oh, another good Scottish poem. Come on, Vivian. Actually, when we're talking about my love is like a red, red rose. Truly good.
So I just got volunteered like 5 minutes ago. Thank you, Warner. So hopefully I don't mess this up too bad. A red, red rose. Oh, my love, like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love, like a melody that sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till aye the seas gain dry. Till aye the seas gain dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, while sands of life shall run. Oh, fare thee well, my only love, fare thee well a while, and I will come again, my love, though for 10,000 miles. I'm waiting.
You want to come back up, girls? Yeah, she's going to do the front too. She's got plenty of breath. We're going to finish up our dancing today with actually it's supposed to be done in the kilt, but we're allowing Catherine to dance in her national costume. But this is the oldest of all the Scottish Highland dancing. It's called the Highland Fling. And it used to be done by the clansmen. It was actually like a victory dance, and they would put their card or their shield down on the ground, and they would dance and double, but it wasn't the one with the big spike in the middle. It was the ones that were just flat. But anyway, they used to dance with the shield, and as a victory dance, so it's supposed to be done in one spot. That's the whole idea, and that's how it's judged. So here we are. We're going to finish up. I thank you all for coming here today. We really appreciate it. You were a wonderful audience. I want to thank all these singers because that was great. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. And we have the Highland Fling.
golfing groups, and we have dances and so forth. So here in
up over here at the table. So let's see, where did Jimmy go? No,
Okay, we have one final number, and you're all going to join in because you've all had a one senior meeting where you probably saw all someplace in New York and you said, oh, wait, oh gosh. You each have your own microphone. Eddie, keep that over there.
I'm back.
So go ahead. Shout out.
We're going to sing Online Sign. Most of you will recognize it as the New Year's Eve song, which I think it was Scottish. Cool, I learned something new.
and I didn't know the lyrics until about 5 minutes.
He knows them now. Kind of.
Between us,